They say knowledge is power, but there are still so many unknowns. So it's easy to be a little influenced by the outside world. Knowing these grisly facts can help you with that. If you're brave enough, here are some chilling facts you can pass up on, from the weirdest quirks of animals to Disneyland's creepiest tidbits. Disneyland's famous Pirates of the Caribbean ride used real skeletons. The engineers from Disney took one look at the fake skeletons that were initially brought in and thought that they weren't creepy enough. This might be because prosthetics in the 1960s weren't as convincing as they are now. To offer a more authentic experience, Disney engineers enlisted the help of the University of California, Los Angeles' anatomy department for real skeletons. Wes Craven's A Nightmare on Elm Street is based on a real story. Director Craven revealed that the inspiration for the iconic slasher film came from a story he read from the LA Times. A boy was having disturbing nightmares and refused to sleep for days out of fear. The same night he succumbed to exhaustion, he died in his sleep, but not before screaming for help in the middle of the night because of his nightmares. As many as 50 serial killers are on the loose in the United States. This number is according to the FBI. However, some, including homicide archivist Thomas Hargrove, speculate that around 3,000 to 4,000 serial killers remain active in the country. It is common for children to hear voices. Apparently, parents don't have to freak out if their children can hear voices. Around 8% of children do, which is as common as having asthma or dyslexia. Hearing voices is definitely creepy, but at least it's perfectly normal. Every day, a person consumes around 1 to 2 cups of snot. More mucus travels into the trachea than it leaks out the nose, so most of this ends up at the back of your throat. This creepy science fact might gross you out, but it's completely harmless and normal. Your bed can have up to 10 million dust mites. Dust mites love warm beddings and dead skin cells. This makes your bed an ideal home for them. They are microscopic and multiply up to thousands or millions. If there's a lesson to be learned from this creepy fact, then it's washing your beddings regularly. A person sweats around 1 cup per day. That means your bed absorbs around 26 gallons of your sweat every year. That's another creepy fact reminding you to wash your bed sheets as often as possible. Isla de las Muñecas, or the Island of the Dolls, is one of the most haunted places in the world. This small island south of Mexico City is a frightening place. Perched and nailed onto the island's trees are little dolls that are said to be housed by the spirit of a little girl. According to the legend, the island's caretaker found a girl who drowned in mysterious circumstances. The caretaker discovered a doll floating in the water, which he hung on a tree to appease the drowned girl's spirit. However, this show of respect did not work, and the drowned girl's spirit continued to haunt the caretaker, causing him to hang more and more dolls in order to temper her anger. Sometimes, tourists even say they can see the dolls move their heads and whisper among each other. The Zoroastrians leave their dead in special towers to be eaten by vultures. While some may find it creepy, it is simply tradition for Zoroastrians. Their funerary practice involves leaving their dead on top of towers called the dogma. Zoroastrians believe that the earth, water, air, and fire are all sacred, and thus burying or cremating the dead would spread impurities to these elements. Leaving their dead exposed to the elements might horrify some, but it is a sign of respect for their followers. Aztec priests believed that the tears of children could stop droughts. Aztec followers believed in the power of human sacrifice, and many of their rituals included sacrificing women and children to serve their sun god, Huitzilopochtli. When they experienced drought, Aztec priests sacrificed children because they believed their tears could call on the rain. The Devil's Bible exists, and it's a contract between a monk and Satan. Also known as Codex Gigas, the Devil's Bible is the largest Latin manuscript known to the world. It contains a full-page portrait of Satan. People believe the manuscript contains the contract of a monk who sold his soul to Satan in the 13th century in order to escape execution. Decorations made from human bones adorn the interior of the Sedlec ossuary. If human remains terrify you, then perhaps you shouldn't include this Roman Catholic church in your itinerary when you visit the Czech Republic. As an ossuary, the bone church contains the bones of around 40,000 different people. These bones are all arranged in different forms, such as garlands, altars, and even a chandelier. People used hollowed human skulls as bowls and cups back in ancient England. Another creepy fact that dates back to ancient England is that cave settlers fashioned cups out of human skulls. They hollowed the skulls and removed the surrounding tissue until they could use it as a drinking vessel. That's certainly some food for thought. Ancient Romans believed that drinking blood would let them absorb power. Blood transfusion was a popular practice in ancient Rome. During gladiator games at the Colosseum, members of the audience would rush into the field to ravage the blood off of fallen gladiators. They believed that in drinking the blood of fallen warriors, they too would absorb the warriors' powers and skills. Alchemists used brain matter as an ingredient for an elixir of eternal life. In the 1600s, John French was an English alchemist who used brain matter for his concoctions. Another horrifying fact about his elixirs was that he stored it in horse manure for months and then drank it after.